Hello everyone, and welcome back if you've come from the other video to another unscripted unscripted lit bashing unboxing video, or words to that effect. This video we've got the Titan Legions new releases from today. Now, new releases is a little bit of a misnomer because these are new releases. This is a brand new kit that's never been released for a unit which has been released, but previously it was in resin and all the weapon options were resin, and now it's in plastic with all the weapon options in plastic, which is great. I never got the resin versions of these for Titanicus, which is good because now I get to have the nice plastic ones. I do quite like resin and it's good detail, particularly new Forge World resin, but you know, can't beat the plastic Imperialis kits. They really have knocked it out of the park with those. And plus we get the cool new version of the bases in this version. So you've got these which are new for an old unit, and we've got these two which are old for an old unit. They were released under Adeptus Titanicus with the old style bases, but they've been reboxed, repackaged as pre-orders for the new game, which is good. So I'm sure we'll see lots of old dates on the sprues because they're much bigger. All the boxes are way bigger than the usual boxes. Even the Direwolf is much thicker, so I expect that's got an extra sprue or two inside. And unfortunately, they've got price tags to match. Particularly this one is ungodly. Don't buy this direct from Games Workshop if you can at all avoid it. Support a local store and take advantage of the discounts they invariably give. Because this is more expensive than the big knights and it's not that much bigger. Right, so we're going to start with the newest and go through to the oldest. I've had to put my camera onto 0.5 zoom just so we can see it all, but hopefully it's not too fish lensy. So yeah, without further ado, welcome to Lit Bashing. Starting off with the Direwolf Heavy Scout Titans, which are one of my favourite Titans in terms of aesthetic. They've got the fun, animalistic anima of the Warhounds, but they've got this lovely kind of chunky siege engine-y type look. On the back, we've got, I don't know, a Lego. Is that a Lego Mortis? I think it is. It's either Lego Mortis or I'm very bad. Yes, it is Lego Mortis. And it also gives the option for Gryphonicus if you're a filthy loyalist. Cool. So let's have a look inside. As with the other one, I haven't pre-pierced this one, but my nail was obviously feeling a lot sharper as that pierced through quite easily. So, in here, what I'm expecting is how many sprues we need to build it. Instructions, obviously. 2 of the new style bases. I'm not expecting them still to package them with the old style thick bases, but if they do, extra 80mm bases for me, I guess. I'm also expecting all the Adeptus Mechanicus game stuff along with the Imperialis game stuff. So let's see what we've got. There we go. Let's start with the instructions for this one. Direwolf Heavy Scout Titan Rules Pack. So as with all the other Titans, we've got the instructions, which are sort of more Imperialis branded. There we are. Yeah, the instructions, Legion Imperialis branded. Very clear, lots of nice bits. Again, I'm not going to check now and bore you to make sure all of the pieces are exactly as expected. But certainly those are good instructions, very clear. There's our cards. And there's our Titanicus. Can't remember what the technical term is for it now. Placemat-y thing. Cool. I like that they still include those. It shows that, you know, Titanicus is still being supported, which is good, because although, again, I'm not really a gamer, I'm more of a player. I'm not really a gamer, I'm more of a painter. It does show me that they're still supporting the rule set for Titanicus, because people I know who play Titanicus say it's the best rule set that Games Workshop have created, which, you know, the Middle-earth strategy battle gamer in me goes, really? But I'm sure it is. I believe the people who've told me such things. So there's a nice now empty box, and as expected, just the new style 80mm bases, which is fine by me, because the Imperialis bases, if you've watched this channel or anyone's channel, you know that everyone thinks these are the best bases Games Workshop have ever made, because they are the best bases Games Workshop has ever made. So good job for those. Chunky 28mm style ones can get in the bin. So here's our transfer sheet. Got Gryphonicus, Astorum, Vitaris, or, you know, if you like the good ones, we've got Furians and Mortis, as well as some basic ones here. It's got the Imperialis brand now. The old Titan sheets said Adeptus Titanicus up there, so that they've updated these. I have to compare it to my old ones to see if the quality is any different or whether they just rebranded it. But in any case, it's a relatively new transfer sheet. It says 2023 on it, so presumably it's been sitting around for a while. But yeah, cool. So 4 sprues, that's a lot of sprues. That's twice as many sprues as normal for not twice the price. So that's good. Oh, I've just realized that with the zooming out, you can see this lovely shadow of my gooseneck. I'll see if I can get that out of the way of the actual. Oh, that's a nice creak. There we go. At least now it's not in the way of the actual sprues as I'm showing you. So, oh, that's horrible. I might have to go to one zoom and angle it better. See the magic behind the scenes you get from unscripted videos. So let's look at it sprue by sprue then, since we can't fit it all in at once. I don't want to give you horrible shadows and shines. So here are our weapons. I wonder if this is the same as, oh, it's all going tits up now, isn't it? There we go. So we've got 2 that are the same sprues. So the weapons seem to be the same sprue, which is good because that means you've got different options. That's cool. Yeah, I was actually expecting all the sprues to be different and having to kind of like make a choice between the weapons. But actually, you have enough weapons, I think, to outfit either of them with as many as you like. In fact, both sprues. Oh, is this a double sprue as well? So yeah, they could have easily just released this as a single kit of 1. And then let everyone just pick, like, charge £30 for a single 2 kits. So actually the 2 of them for 45 or whatever it is for Games Workshop is pretty customer friendly. So yeah, 2 different sprues, one with all the weapons and a few armor panels, and another with all the actual structural bits. So yeah, I'm impressed with this, both in terms of how many options it gives you. It doesn't lock you into one type of weapon. Yeah, there's a dog outside barking, which is always nice. It seems appropriate for direwolves having a dog outside barking. Yeah, I am mighty impressed by this, as you can tell. The fact I'm not talking much about it, I'm just enjoying looking at the bits. These are going to be really fun to build, and the fact that you can split them in half means if you only want one, split a box with a friend or someone on the internet if you haven't got friends, and boom, there you have 1 each. easily swappable. You don't need to snap off little bits from inside like you do with the regular Titan ones, like the regular Warhounds, where they've got kind of two but spread across in an awkward position. You can literally just split the sprues. You have two, I have two, one each. Cool. Very good quality sprues. I wonder if there's a date on it. It is 2023, so it's from last year. So they've probably been sitting on this like they have with lots of the releases because of the supply issues. There's a little bit of, I wonder if that's the same on both. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of sculpt markings on there. Not much, just a little bit, but if you're really pernickety, you might want to buff that out. It doesn't feel any different, so I think it's probably just a line where the kind of injection from each side is met in the middle. It seems consistent across them all. Might even be a STL mark. Doesn't seem to have any 3D, so I think you're okay. But just something to be aware of if you are particularly pernickety about your old lines. Yeah, it's a very solid kit. Good start, everyone. Let's try the next one. Let's move on to the Warbringer Nemesis. I might have to go back to my 0.5 zoom and just, unfortunately, lump the shadow. See, where my setup is designed to film super detail right up to here, as detailed as possible, then suddenly going into, let's look at a massive model, bigger than some of the 28mm. Yeah, it does push my setup to its limits. Is my nail thick enough to get through? Nope, so I'll just have to peel off the sticker. Oh, the fun of unscripted. Where else do you get to hear someone question whether their nail is thick enough to break through a sticker? Oh no, I've torn it. Oh no. Oh, that's right. I'm not a box collector. If I were, I'd be a bit more careful about it. Like I've said in the other video, if you saw that one first, I decant. I get all the stuff out and then see how it looks. So this is, with the possible exception of the Side Titan, which I have ordered, but it's coming direct from Games Workshop, so I'll do a build of that at some point. And because it's loyalist only, and I have no interest in collecting loyalists, I might do a big paint and then either a giveaway or a charity auction or something for it. If anyone's interested in a Side Titan painted by me. Considering it's called the Sinister, it is annoying that, it's loyalist only. Oh well, can't complain. The traitors get all the other cool stuff. And Mortis have these guys, so I can at least have one of these. Speaking of Mortis, there we go. Mortis and Gryphonicus. Those tend to be the kind of default options on the back of this. Not always, like with the Land Raider Proteus box, which doesn't have Iron Hands on the back. It has Iron Warriors on the back. Sometimes you get alternate schemes, but generally speaking, shows you a Gryphonicus and a Mortis. So, let's see what we've got inside. It's one of these tray ones. Check this empty. Yep, we're empty. How many sprues? Actually, in terms of sprue, that is the same amount of sprue as the Warhound. I'll have to check and see how much it is, but I think that was significantly more expensive than the Warhound. And yet, the same amount of sprue. A bigger sprue, but yeah, it looks like you're paying a Titan premium on this one. But saying that, the pieces are very, very good. That's a lovely... Oh, goodness, all of it's so good. Look at that. Eye of Horus. That's an incredible bit of sculpting. I never got this the first time around. 2019. That is very solid sculpting for 2019. I don't know if you can see the detail on that Eye of Horus with the cracks and the rivets. God, that's such a weird looking Titan, but a lovely looking kit. That's going to be very nice to build. And very nice to paint. Sculpted details are always nice to paint. And the other thing that's fun is, even though it's kind of in lore a Reaver variant and kind of a Reaver size. All of these are all unique sprues. None, it's not sharing any with the Reaver. There we go. That is an excellent kit. And I love this thing they've got going on, this kind of like grating. That's kind of old-fashioned spray lead belcher, wash with Nuln Oil, boom, painted. Dry brush with a silver if you fancy it. God, I'm going to have to think of something special to do with this guy, so I'm going to posing. It's such a silly looking Titan. But very cool. Right, so, yeah, this one's still got the old style Titanicus transfers. So I expect that's because the Direwolves are a new kit, only last year when they were already prepping for LI. This is a rebox of the old Titanicus kit, so I guess they already had this, and I don't know if they ever will rebrand them or whether they're just going to, carry on using these. No sense fixing what ain't broke. As usual, Gryphonicus, Astorum, and Ataris, or Furians and Mortis for the cool kids. Nice. And, most sexily, one of the new style thin bases. Same size as the Reaver. These are out of stock to buy on their own, which is really annoying because I want a whole bunch to rebase lots of the old Reavers I got for Titanicus. If I played as much as I purchased and painted, I would be probably still not any better at the game. But, it's a good thought to think that I might be. God, it's a weird thing to get excited about bases you've seen 100 times, but they're such good bases. You can almost, considering how thin the relief is, you can, on the side, you can basically not even see the relief. But you can see just the different angles you get by the light, the reflection. You do that, some of these are basically white and some of them are basically black. It's incredible. Good bases, good bases. Right, and here is the expected rule and instruction box. I just have to check my depth perception because I'm looking through a camera. As before, new LI branded instructions. God, this is a big kit. This is I suppose it's not quite knight size, but certainly close to 28mm knight size. So you've got that many bits to build. Mine's going to be Legio Mortis. I think the way I kind of thought it is that all of my Reaver size are going to be Mortis, all my Direwolf size and Warhound size are going to be Audax, and then all my Warlord size are going to be Vulpa, to represent all of the Titan legions present at Istvan 3, with a couple of variations. Mortis did have some Direwolves and they did have a Warmaster, so building for fluff, but in terms of aesthetic, to make sure they're all represented, that's how I'm going to build. Fun. And these, as expected, cards: Mori Quick Cannon, Bellicosa Venom Volcano Cannon, Laser Blaster. I feel like they gave up at that last one. But still, Bellicosa Volcano Cannon sounds fun. Good kit. Old kit, so it's probably not new for lots of you. But then I suppose those of you who weren't interested in seeing a kit you've seen before would have switched off after the Direwolves. So I did that for you. I made that easy at least. Don't say I never give you anything. Speaking of giving you things, the winners of the February giveaway, finally those got posted. When I first tried to post them, turns out I made the parcels too small because with international post you need to put on about 20 different stickers, and seriously I might as well have just wrapped the parcels in red tape and packing stickers, because goodness me, there's a lot of nonsense when it comes to posting across the world. But still, you should all be receiving those very soon, assuming no aeroplanes go missing full of models. So, moving on to... Oh, and if you'd like to be entered into giveaways, or if you want to come up with any ideas for Lit Bashers, join my Patreon or throw comments in the YouTube comments with any ideas you've got. If you've got a good idea and you're a Patreon and it's not part of my own army, then I send you the model. I don't need it. You've given me good content. So yeah, it's always fun if you want to join and support. I will think you're very sexy forever. So the Warmaster Heavy Battle Titan, just in case you wanted to see the back, as usual, Gryphonicus Mortis. I wonder, I might look at some point to see if these are the same advice on each one, whether they do mix it up a bit. Cool. Now this is the heavy weapon version. There is the Iconoclast as well, but that's not yet been re-released, so I haven't been able to get hold of that one, but I will do when it is. A nice big chunky instruction manual with nice big chunky Titanicus rules. That is big. A big dashboard. Make sure I'm not shining horrible lights into your eyes. Special shoulder weapons. However, as with the others, this has been rebranded into Legions Imperialis. Lots of bits, lots of little fiddly bits, which I like because I'm a hobbyist. Again, sorry about this silly shadow. I'm not really set up for filming big things. I'll have to get I don't know, something with a kind of light ring that works at this distance. Or just pick a better room to do it in, where the light isn't directly above me. Unfortunately, when I'm recording this at night and the boy is asleep, even though he's deaf, he can still wake up if he hears me talking next door, so I have to do this downstairs. Good instructions. As well, they've really... And I know some people on Reddit and Facebook were saying that they've got kind of misprinted instruction manuals, but none of mine seem to have been so far, which is good. So I don't know if it only affects certain languages, but I thought they were kind of all languages. Yeah, so I don't know whether they put them in waves or whether there was a mistake that was caught in some of them. But certainly all of my instructions have been excellent. Yeah, so there is the instruction booklet for the Warmaster. Let's see how old this sprue is. Oh, and there's your cards. Any fun weapons on this one? Revelator missile launcher, infusive supercoolant, plasmatic locomotors. Suzerain, what's Suzerain? Suzerain class plasma destructor, apocalypse missile array, plasma blast gun, turbo laser destructor, Vulcan mega bolter. Yeah, I feel like they used up a lot of their made up high gothic words and then just got stuck with plasma blast gun, turbo laser. Oh well, I'm sure it's iconic in its own right. So 2020. So this is a slightly newer sculpt than the plastic Nemesis, but still, both of them amazing sculpting. I love these 3D Eye of Horuses. Eye of Horuses? Eyes of Horus. Calls to Sax. I don't know. They're all so good. I love sculpted armor panel details. I mean, transfers are good and all, freehand is good and all, but things like this just look so good. Nice. And this one, I was making fun of the price, but actually you get a lot of plastic. Not 100 quid's worth, obviously, but you do get a lot of plastic. And it is hella detailed. So, you can knock it, and you should knock it, but it is good. It's not a cheap hobby, but it's a fun one. So that is 4 massive sprues. So that's twice the amount of sprue as either of the other kits. Or, if you want to look at it another way, the same amount of sprue as the other 2 kits combined. I might do those side by side in a minute. This is gonna be a big undertaking to build. Fun though. Nice. I do like this face. Cool. Not spending too long on these ones because you've theoretically seen them before, or at least have had the opportunity to see them before. But good to know how they're packaged. Still got the Adeptus Titanicus version, which doesn't split them into the different... I mean, this must be old. Interesting. It's newer, according to the sprue, but this looks like an older design of transfer because it doesn't separate into the different legions or legios as the newer ones do. It doesn't seem as crisp. It seems a bit more cartoony, and the transfer cutouts are a little bit wider. So it seems like certainly this seems older. But it does say 2020 on it. And the other one said, watch me try to find it now. Oh, I'll keep, there we go. So the other one said, yeah, this is 2019 and this is 2020, but this one seems much tighter and much more detailed. Interesting. I don't know what the reasoning behind that is. I mean, even just the shininess of it. Interesting. I don't know. Theorize about that in the comments. But again, the biggest base. Now, I'm going to spend a little bit of a side to talk about a future lit bash I'm going to do. Because at the moment, this is the biggest base in the game. It's the equivalent of the old big monstrous creature base. Back when monstrous creatures started getting bases bigger than the Dreadnought base. And they all had this size. Which means any lit bash I do, at maximum, has to fit on a base this big. Which is fine, except I want to make an Imperator Titan, which at the moment doesn't have rules, and they might release an official Imperator at some point, but if they do, it's going to be stupidly expensive. And also, I don't know what size base it's going to be on. And it could take years, and I want to do one relatively soon. So I'm probably going to have to try and fit it on one of these so I can play it as a Warmaster. Downside of that is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit the legs of a Warmaster, legs of an Imperator on this. Oh well, I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But yeah, bear in mind, at some point I am going to make a 8mm scale Imperator Titan based on the Dies Irae of Legio Mortis, as made famous by Istvan 3, because that seems to be my own army's theme at the moment. So cool. Those are all the new kits, and that's been a big video because there's 3 kits to look at. So thank you if you have stuck around for the whole time. YouTube finally accepted my first step of monetizations. They've started looking carefully at my numbers, and they've decided to come back to me to say whether they're going to approve me or not. So very soon I'm going to be starting to get my 0.001p per video. So, you know, I'm going to be absolutely rolling in it. So thank you for all of you who've been here along the way and everyone who's helped out. If you want to carry on helping out, hey, why not play this video again and leave it playing while you go to sleep? I wonder if YouTube has a repeat button. So yeah, so thank you everyone. I'll see if I can give you that comparison shot to leave you with. So here is the Warbringer. Then you've got the Direwolves. And then you've got the Warmaster. So yeah, I was I'm still making fun of the price. It's a stupidly expensive kit. I wouldn't get any more than one, but you know, for this video, for my own silly projects, and you know, they are fun, aren't they? We can't complain too much about the price when we opted into this hobby. Well, I mean, we can. We're British. Well, some of us are. Some of you aren't. Hello, foreign friends. Lots of Americans. A fair few Germans. My family's German, I think, if you go back far enough. Got some German and some Italian in me, so I don't speak German. I only speak a little bit of Spanish, so I was going to say something in German, but I don't know. Auf Wiedersehen, I guess, because it's the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. As always, keep being awesome. Thank you to all my wonderful, wonderful patrons, and keep on lip bashing.